Welcome to our show, Hong Kong Brief. Today, we have 3 exciting stories to share with you. First up, Hong Kong swimmer Siobhan Haughey has made waves at the Paris Olympics, securing 2 bronze medals and becoming the territory's most decorated Olympian. From a reluctant swimmer to a medal machine, Haughey's journey is nothing short of inspiring. Next, for all the food enthusiasts out there, the 2 Michelin-starred restaurant Lai Ching Heen is offering a unique Puer tea tasting menu this summer. The collaboration between tea sommelier Kelvin Mok and head chef Cheng Man-sang promises a gastronomic delight that marries premium ingredients with the rich heritage of Puer tea. Lastly, Hong Kong stocks have taken a hit following a surprise contraction in China's manufacturing activity. The Hang Seng Index fell by 0.3%, raising concerns about economic growth. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage of these stories. South China Morning Post. Siobhan Haughey's journey from a reluctant swimmer to Hong Kong's medal machine is nothing short of inspirational. Born to an Irish father and a Hong Kong mother, Haughey initially resisted swimming lessons, finding them boring and tear-inducing. However, a coach at the South China Athletic Association saw her potential, and by the age of 7, she was training 5 times a week. Fast forward to 2013, and Haughey was already making waves on the international stage, setting records and winning medals at the FINA World Junior Swimming Championships and the East Asian Games. Her career took a significant leap when she qualified for the 2016 Rio Olympics, becoming the first Hong Kong swimmer to break the Olympic qualifying standard. Although she didn't win any medals in Rio, her progression from the heats was a first for Hong Kong swimmers. The Tokyo 2020 Olympics saw her winning 2 silver medals, making her the first Hong Kong swimmer to achieve such a feat despite contemplating retirement after Tokyo. Haughey continued to train under coach Tom Rushton, leading to more world titles and a short course world record. Her persistence paid off when she won gold in the 200-meter at the World Aquatics Championships in Doha in 2023, finally becoming a long-course world champion. South China Morning Post. At the Paris Olympics, Siobhan Haughey added 2 bronze medals to her collection, bringing her career Olympic medal tally to 4. Despite narrowly missing out on gold, Haughey expressed satisfaction with her performance. Hong Kong's leader, John Lee Kok-yew, congratulated her, highlighting her fearless competition against the world's best athletes. Haughey revealed that she had worked closely with a sports psychologist to prepare mentally for the games, ensuring she remained calm and focused. Her training regimen under coach Tom Rushton became more intense, featuring increased pool time and distances covered. Haughey credited her success to meticulous mental preparation and a strong support system, including her family, coaches, and teammates. She also emphasized the importance of sharing her achievements with the public to inspire others to chase their dreams. As she contemplates her future in swimming, Haughey remains a beacon of hope and inspiration for Hong Kong, demonstrating that with hard work and determination, one can achieve greatness. South China Morning Post. Nestled within the luxurious Regent Hong Kong, Lai Ching Heen is renowned for its sophisticated jade-themed decor, steadfast dedication to traditional Cantonese culinary techniques, and its visually stunning dishes. Celebrated with numerous accolades, including 2 Michelin stars and 2 Black Pearl diamonds, this establishment offers more than just food. It provides an immersive dining experience that reflects Hong Kong's vibrant culture and flavors. This August, in collaboration with tea sommelier Kelvin Mok and head chef Cheng Man-sang, executive chef Lau Ufai presents a unique Puer tea tasting menu. This menu highlights the heritage of Puer tea, which is fermented in Yunnan and traditionally aids digestion, often accompanying dim sum. The month-long Yunnan Puer tea tasting menu features premium ingredients like Japanese Wagyu beef, French duck liver, South African abalone, and Nepalese rock rice, harmoniously blended with the rich traditions of Cantonese cuisine. Inspired by a visit to Yunnan tea gardens and crafted with the help of tea partner Tong Qinghao, the menu aims to blend tradition with innovation. Diners can enjoy a welcome drink of sparkling golden oolong tea with Lungan honey, followed by a variety of appetizers and dim sum. Highlights include smoked abalone puff pastry infused with supreme tea leaves, purple-hued prawn and bamboo shoot dumplings stained with Puer teas, and wok-seared wagyu patties with mandarin zest. The mains feature wok-fried Kagoshima wagyu beef with cauliflower and mushrooms, and rock rice steamed with grouper fillet and preserved vegetables. Desserts like double-boiled sweetened pear and osmanthus soup with rose syrup, paired with a 1992 Meijiang dried tangerine peel calendula and golden monk fruit tea, round off the meal. This innovative menu, set against the backdrop of Victoria Harbour and the Hong Kong Island skyline, reaffirms Lai Ching Heen's status as a premier dining destination. South China Morning Post: Hong Kong stocks weakened following an unexpected contraction in China's manufacturing activity in July, sparking renewed growth concerns. Despite the Federal Reserve's dovish outlook and unchanged interest rates, market sentiment remained low as investors anticipated Hong Kong rate cuts only by 2025. The Hang Seng Index dipped 0.3% to 17,290.56, with the tech index falling 1.1%. Key companies like JD.com, NetEase, and Baidu saw declines, while Budweiser Brewing plummeted 4.2% after a reported earnings drop. The Caixin S&P Global Manufacturing PMI fell to 49.8, missing forecasts and highlighting China's economic slowdown. Senior economist Wang Zhe emphasized the need for policies to stabilize growth and improve employment. The Hang Seng Index has been on a 2-month decline, with Beijing's policy responses failing to impress. The Hong Kong Monetary Authority kept the base rate at 5.75%, mirroring the U.S. Federal Reserve's stance. Meanwhile, Shenzhen Boschiji Technology surged 106% on its IPO day, contrasting with mixed trends in other Asian markets. South China Morning Post: Japan's Kenji Nainair expressed frustration after finishing 15th in the Olympic triathlon, highlighting the inadequacy of Asian competition in preparing for global events. Nainair, who had high hopes after a strong performance in the Hong Kong Triathlon World Cup, struggled during a physically demanding swim in the Seine, finishing well behind the leaders. He emphasized the significant gap between Asian and global standards, suggesting that emerging Chinese athletes might narrow this gap slightly. Nainair offered advice to Hong Kong's Jasoning Tai Long, who faced challenges in his Olympic debut, encouraging him to seek higher quality competition. Reflecting on his own performance, Nainair acknowledged the need for an unmitigated desire to succeed, similar to champions like Christian Blumenfeld and Alex Shi. Despite improvements in his abilities, Nainair was disappointed with his results, attributing his struggles to the physical swim and a lack of preparation for such conditions. He remains uncertain about committing to another Olympic cycle, emphasizing the importance of a strong desire to achieve success. South China Morning Post: Hong Kong celebrated its 4th medal at the Paris Olympics, with Siobhan Haughey securing a bronze in the 100 meters freestyle. Despite her strong qualifications and being the world champion in the 200-meter freestyle, Haughey finished behind Sweden's Sarah Sjöström and the US ace Tori Husk. In tennis, the dream pairing of Rafael Nadal and Carlos Alcaraz, dubbed Nadalcaraz, was eliminated in the quarterfinals by the US ace Austin Krajicek and Rajiv Ram. Hong Kong's badminton duo, Tang Chunman and Tsai Ing-suet, also faced an emotional exit after losing in the quarterfinals. China had a memorable session in the pool, with Pan Zhanle setting a world record in the men's 100-meter freestyle. Meanwhile, Katie Ledecky of the USA secured her 8th Olympic gold in the 1/500m freestyle. The U.S. men's basketball team, known as the Avengers, continued their dominant run, securing a quarterfinal spot with a win over South Sudan. Despite Stephen Curry's off night, the team showcased their depth and talent, ensuring their place in the next round. Associated Press: after spending 5 months in jail for publishing seditious Instagram posts, Joker Chan returned to a harsh reality. Chan, 30, was sentenced in 2022 for posts containing slogans like "Liberate Hong Kong," "Revolution of Our Times," which were popularly chanted during the massive anti-government protests in 2019. Upon his release, Chan's criminal record barred him from returning to the hotel industry, where he previously worked as a chef. Some of his friends severed ties with him, fearing their association might lead to police investigations. His family also expressed disappointment in him. 5 years after the protests erupted, the lives of some young people who were jailed or arrested during Beijing's political crackdown remain in limbo. Unlike famed activists, these former protesters usually receive little attention, even though their activism for democratic goals has exacted a similarly heavy toll. Since the protests broke out, more than 10,200 people have been arrested, with about 1/5 facing legal consequences. The government crackdown expanded after Beijing imposed a national security law in 2020. Chan fought for a more democratic Hong Kong, a goal that many in the city have yearned for since the former British colony returned to China in 1997. Reflecting on his actions, Chan said he would have been more cautious if he could go back in time, but he doesn't regret what he did. Another former inmate, also surnamed Chan, said he panicked every time he saw police on the streets after he finished serving his sentence in 2022. Brandon Yao, secretary of the prisoners' support group Waiting Bird, said while some former inmates could return to the industries they previously worked in, many teachers, medical professionals, and social workers face greater challenges in returning to their old sectors. Convicted students are concerned about whether schools will accept them. Official data show hundreds of people were sent to correctional services facilities each year over offenses linked to the protests or for allegedly endangering national security between 2020 and 2023. By the end of 2023, about 780 people were in custody for such offenses, up nearly 50% from a year earlier. South China Morning Post: some of the world's leading tech companies such as OpenAI and Google have decided to exclude Hong Kong from the list of markets where their advanced, generative artificial intelligence, AI, services like ChatGPT are available. Unfortunately, the restrictions may be the result of a lack of communication and misunderstandings between the private sector and the Hong Kong government. OpenAI launched ChatGPT less than 2 years ago, just as generative AI was becoming the hottest technology in demand. Apart from Hong Kong, there are a handful of other markets where OpenAI has restricted its service, including mainland China, Iran, and North Korea. It is understandable why foreign AI services would not be available in the Chinese mainland, given Beijing's well-known strict control of the internet. However, in Hong Kong, people enjoy virtually free access to the internet, a sharp contrast to the rest of China. The free flow of data and information is critically important for Hong Kong, one of the world's leading financial hubs. Big banks like JP Morgan and Citigroup have started to use generative AI to help them trade more efficiently and comb through regulatory proposals. If Hong Kong is isolated in the new era of generative AI, it will have long-term implications for the city's status as a leading financial center. Hong Kong should welcome locally developed AI services, as a diversity of tools can also promote more innovation in the industry. However, the government should also be more proactive and reach out to companies such as OpenAI and Google to exchange more views on how Hong Kong can be included in their services. Beijing would surely support such an effort. Global generative AI developments can benefit economic development in Hong Kong, which is a top priority as expressed by the central government. Meanwhile, Hong Kong should also welcome Chinese AI developers such as Alibaba, Baidu, and Tencent. The worst scenario is that Hong Kong ends up outside the service scope of both OpenAI's ChatGPT and Baidu's ErnieBot. In the long run, Hong Kong's access to these services will be a serious issue for its competitiveness and relevance to the world. South China Morning Post: two Hong Kong NGOs have called on authorities to protect about 340 hectares of good-quality farmland in an area that falls under the Northern Metropolis Mega Project to help foster urban-rural symbiosis and boost the local food supply. According to a 9-month study from Kadoorie Farm and Botanic Garden, the Liber Research Community, and 4 other green groups, Hong Kong has 187 hectares of active arable land and another 265 hectares of idle farmland. The paper found that 75% of the land was good quality, urging the government to conserve such sites. Yip Tsc Lam, manager of Kadoorie Farm's Regenerative Agriculture Department, said the study can act as a reference for the government to establish an agricultural priority area. Then Hong Kong leader Leung Chun-ing first floated the idea of designated agricultural priority areas in his 2016 policy address. Yip said the NGOs had assessed the quality of farmland using scientific methods such as checking topsoil depths. One good quality site in Sheng Shui, identified by the study, had a topsoil thickness of 40 centimeters. However, some plots cited in the study are at risk of deterioration due to the development of nearby brownfield sites. Researchers in Sha Tau Kok discovered the soil had been damaged by fly-tipping activities. The NGO said the farmland had yet to be restored to its original condition, despite the planning department issuing a notice requesting local stakeholders to do so last year. Yip urged authorities to consider turning large and complete farmlands into agricultural priority areas. The move could provide more job opportunities for local farmers and increase the supply of locally grown fruits and vegetables. Liber Research Community said polluted farmland soil was largely the result of brownfield operations, with authorities taking a loose approach to enforcing regulations. The government launched a consultancy study on agricultural priority areas in 2018, initially expected to be completed in 2022, but delayed until 2024. The Agriculture, Fisheries and Conservation Department said authorities plan to consult stakeholders on the recommendations of the study by the end of this year. South China Morning Post, the Hong Kong Summer International Film Festival 2024 promises a cinematic feast with a blend of contemporary gems and timeless classics. Among the highlights is Black Dog, a noir tale by Guan Hu featuring Eddie Peng as an ex-con bonding with a rabid dog in the Gobi Desert. Coralie Fargeet's The Substance stars Demi Moore in a body horror satire on Hollywood's disposability of women. Tales of Taipei assembles 10 dynamic directors to depict Taiwan's capital, while Quentin Dupuis's The Second Act offers a meta-comedy skewering modern cultural issues. The Devil's Bath by Veronica Franz and Severin Fiala plunges into 18th-century Austrian folk horror. Yoko Yamanaka's Desert of Namibia showcases a Gen Z's tumultuous journey through love and life, winning acclaim at Cannes. Hayao Miyazaki and the Heron explores the legendary animator's return from retirement. Martin Scorsese presents Made in England, a documentary on the iconic duo Powell and Pressburger. An 8-film retrospective on Shinji Somai highlights his influence on Japanese cinema. The festival also revisits the original King Kong and Godzilla, and Francis Ford Coppola's restored One from the Heart offers a dazzling studio musical experience. Running from August 14th to 26th, this festival is a haven for film enthusiasts. South China Morning Post. My frying pan has started to stick, and I'm on the hunt for a replacement. Scrambled eggs and sausages have been my recent nemesis, leaving me scraping off bits of breakfast and further damaging the pan. After deciding to declutter my kitchen and part ways with old, worn-out cookware, I'm faced with the dilemma of choosing a new frying pan. The options are overwhelming. Non-stick Teflon pans are cheap and initially effective, but wear out quickly and can release harmful chemicals at high temperatures. Ceramic pans are a healthier option without toxic chemicals and come in trendy designs, but they're less durable and can't handle high heat well. Cast iron pans, beloved by many, are heavy and require regular seasoning to maintain their non-stick quality, something I'm too lazy to do. Carbon steel pans, although more expensive, offer a middle ground with proper maintenance. Stainless steel pans are for the truly skilled chefs who can prevent food from sticking. For everyday cooking, an inexpensive non-stick pan might suffice, or perhaps inheriting a well-seasoned wok from a grandmother. I'm planning to see what's on sale at the Wing On department store this weekend. South China Morning Post. Richard Ekebus, the culinary director of the landmark Mandarin Oriental Hotel in Hong Kong, defies the stereotype of a portly chef. Standing at 1.82 meters and weighing less than 80 kilograms, Ekebus maintains his lean physique through rigorous training, including running 120 kilometers a week with up to 20 kilograms on his back. Recently returned from a mountaineering expedition in Ecuador, Ekebus has found a passion for scaling peaks like Chimborazo and Cotopaxi. His interest in mountaineering began as a counterbalance to the health risks of being a chef, such as high cholesterol and fatty liver. Initially planning to climb Mount Everest, the pandemic shifted his focus to lesser-known summits. His training regimen is intense, involving strength and core training with a personal trainer and carrying heavy packs on a Stairmaster. Despite the physical and mental challenges, including extreme weather and altitude sickness, Ekebus finds the rewards of mountaineering, such as improved problem-solving skills and a sense of accomplishment, to be invaluable. These experiences not only make him a better person but also enhance his culinary skills and mentorship. South China Morning Post. Jay-Z's passion for ultra-exclusive watches has been evident since the early days of his career, long before amassing his $2.50 billion fortune. His influence in the music industry has helped popularize elite horology brands such as Hublot, Richard Mille, and Audemars Piguet. Now, with his recent investment in WristCheck, a Hong Kong-based online marketplace for luxury watches, Jay-Z's horological obsession has reached new heights. Among his enviable collection is the Patek Philippe Nautilus Tiffany 5711, a special edition in Tiffany's signature robin's egg blue, valued at $3.2 million. He also raised $1.5 million for charity by auctioning his Jacob & Company Caviar Tourbillon World Timer, adorned with 204 white baguette diamonds. Jay-Z's collection includes the Richard Mille RM001 Tourbillon, one of just 17 released in 2001, valued at $2.3 million, and the custom Richard Mille The Blueprint RM056, inspired by his seminal album and valued at $5.5 million. His Hublot Big Bang, gifted by Beyoncé, is the most expensive Hublot ever made, worth $5 million and encrusted with 1,282 diamonds. The Patek Philippe Grandmaster Chime 6300G, with its 20 complications, is valued at $6 million, showcasing Jay-Z's appreciation for haute horlogerie. He recently added the rare Patek Philippe 2499101J to his collection, a vintage piece worth at least $3 million. His Rolex Daytona Paul Newman Panda 6263, a special collaborative release with Tiffany & Company, is valued at $2 million. Lastly, his unique Rolex Datejust perpetual calendar, modified by Frank Muller in the 1980s, stands as a true memento of horological history. South China Morning Post. A recent Politburo meeting chaired by President Xi Jinping acknowledged the economic challenges China is facing, which has invigorated investor confidence as they anticipate robust supportive measures from the government. Xi and his colleagues recognized the necessity to bolster efforts to meet the 5% growth target for the year, pledging to implement countercyclical measures and more proactive fiscal and monetary policies to stimulate household consumption. This shift in tone, compared to previous economic policy meetings, has been interpreted as a commitment to stronger growth support in the second half of the year. Following this announcement, the CSI 300 Index and the Hang Seng Index both saw significant gains, reflecting investor optimism. Economists from institutions like Nomura Holdings and Goldman Sachs predict potential actions such as cutting the reserve requirement ratio and increasing government bond sales to support infrastructure investment. Despite some skepticism due to the lack of detailed plans, the market views these signals from the Politburo as decidedly pro-growth and a response to mounting economic pressures. South China Morning Post. Hong Kong's Monetary Authority, HKMA, has maintained its base interest rate at 5.75%, mirroring the U.S. Federal Reserve's decision to keep its target rate unchanged. This marks the 8th consecutive time HKMA has held the rate steady, aligning with the Fed's policy to preserve the local currency's peg to the US dollar. The Fed hinted at a potential rate cut in September, contingent on inflation data and labor market conditions, a move that has already sparked a rally on Wall Street with significant gains in indices like the S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100. The HKMA's decision comes amidst expectations of a rate cut by the Fed, driven by recent disinflation trends and cooling domestic demand. Despite U.S. core inflation remaining above the Fed's 2% target, the HKMA is expected to follow suit with rate adjustments to maintain currency stability. Local banks, including HSBC and Standard Chartered, are anticipated to announce their rate decisions, although experts suggest that Hong Kong's commercial banks may not reduce their prime rates until mid-2025, reflecting a cautious approach to monetary easing. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Turn the lights on screen. What's the latest scene? Just you and me, laugh and disagree. On the couch we sit, talk about the hits, news and bits, chat through all the fits. 6-degree chats, gotta talk about that. Like crazy chat, share where we're at. From the weather change to the world's big stage, everything's fair game under our spotlight's flame. Grab a coffee quick, get your hot takes thick. We're here to mix and pick, every topic's our flick. 6-degree chats, gotta talk about that. Like crazy chat, share where we're at. Grab a coffee quick, get your hot takes thick. We're here to mix and pick, every topic's our flick. 6-degree chats.